Okay, we're live. We've been live for 5 seconds already.
Oh,
Wow.
5 whole seconds.
Yep, good stuff.
We're probably up to like 15 or 20 seconds by now.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, am I looking a little blurry?
Yes.
A little.
Your resolution looks worse than usual.
Yeah, something's up. Oh well, people can't tell. It's too far away.
It's too far
It's
away.
taking up a eighth of the screen, so resolution doesn't matter or something. Yeah, that's okay. Hat's really tall. Okay, so what's new?
What's new?
Yeah.
Ryan, what is new with The Expanse that you're watching?
So, what's his name?
What's his
the
name?
detective.
Miller?
Miller.
Oh, what
He
a great
just
guy.
got fired.
Oh, you're spoiling it for me.
Oh no!
Curtis hasn't watched.
Ah. It's okay.
Ah.
You can just spoil the whole thing for me, and then I won't watch it unless Noah watches Lost, and then maybe I will.
Curtis, you should watch The Expanse whether or not I watched Lost. It's that good of a show.
Interesting.
I believe Ryan would concur.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right.
But yeah, there's things are happening.
Things are happening
Uh,
for reasons.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
So, Ryan, an interesting side note is that the first book of The Expanse, you only get the point of views from Holden and Miller.
Really?
Yes. You don't meet Christian Servala, whatever her name is, I can't pronounce it, until the second book.
Christians. Who's that again?
The assistant undersecretary lady. Admiral Quarian.
Oh,
Yeah.
her.
Yep, her. She doesn't pop up until the second book.
Really?
Yep.
She's like a pretty
Major
important
character.
thing
Yep.
going on
Yep.
right now with
Yep.
her, and
Yeah.
she's. Yeah, this is.
It's very interesting.
This is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yes.
That is dangerous.
It really is quite dangerous.
Indeed. Now, folks, usually when I send you off on a dangerous mission, I say good news. So when I say bad news, I hope you know just how dangerous it is.
Not really that dangerous?
Actually, quite dangerous indeed.
That really is quite dangerous.
Indeed. All right, now that we've gone through the whole spiel from Futurama,
The spiel.
the spiel, I don't remember what my segue was. It probably wasn't very good. Today, we're talking about a movie apparently from the year 2003.
Yep.
Finding out that information scared me because it makes me feel old. We're talking about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the launch of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, some might say. Curse of the Black Pearl,
Yeah.
which I have brought in plastic form.
Nice. Yeah, I've got it downstairs somewhere too.
Oh, I meant I brought the Lego Black Pearl.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. I got to get a remote.
That would help.
Zoom control. It's expensive though.
It
so.
looks like you have a Barbossa and a William Turner.
William Turner. Mr. Gibbs is in there.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Is there a rare limited edition octopus face man?
Davy Jones?
Davy Jones?
Oh, I
yeah.
left him at home. But yeah,
Oh.
he is pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save. Yeah, you
no one
wouldn't
must
want to
keep him safe.
risk. Yeah.
Oh, I
no
just
risking it.
Davy Jones and Papa Turner and one of the other henchmen, the Fishhead dude. They have their own little dinghy that came with this set.
Really?
Yeah, so I left them on the dinghy all this time, and I didn't bring the dinghy, so that's why they're not here.
That is a dinghy.
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
this was I'd say this was a favorite from our childhood.
I mean, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
sure.
I think I have many memories of us watching this over and over again.
I have many memories of the ride going on that
Oh,
over
yes.
and over again.
Let's talk a little bit about that ride. Like, they essentially somehow pulled together a whole movie
Based off
of
very loosely based.
Yeah.
off. I mean, really, the only thing from the original ride, I once watched a YouTube video explaining like the history of the changes over the years. Like the Tortuga thing is basically the original ride, and then sort of like the ship battle stuff. But like it was from the ride, you mostly just get the Tortuga thing. That's one for one, and then the rest of it's just kind of like vague references to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bring in some other references in later movies, I think. Like there was that swaying ship
Oh, right.
in what was the fourth one? Is that On Stranger Tides?
Oof. Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it doesn't. Yeah,
I-
they don't talk about
I
it.
think that was Stranger Tides. That sounds right.
I don't know.
I don't watch anything past 3.
Fourth one had Blackbeard,
Yes.
Yeah.
and fifth one had the Trident.
Yes. Who was the bad guy in the fifth one?
Salazar.
Salazar Slytherin.
That's, I think, why I remembered it.
Ah,
It might not actually be Salazar. It's
think it
something
is.
like that, at the very least. The Spanish ghost pirate.
yes.
That's all I remember from that movie.
The bad
Right.
guy from Skyfall.
And we get to see
That was the bad guy from Skyfall?
Yeah, it's the
Oh my
bad guy
God.
from Skyfall.
we get to see a de-aged Johnny Depp in that one.
Oh,
That
yeah.
I
And they
also vaguely
changed
remember.
the backstory for him.
Yes.
I
And
remember that.
Yeah, and they added a whole bunch of, they kind of retconned the importance of the compass, which was dumb, because it was just like a trinket he got from Tia Dalma, which was kind of important because she was, what's her name, Calypso,
Mm-hmm.
so she made the compass magical or something. Is basically the implication.
We're jumping ahead here, though.
Yeah,
We're years ahead.
yeah. That's like 2007.
Oh. Actually, no, that movie was 2016. The last one?
Oh, I was talking about 3 when you
Oh,
find out
yeah,
about
yeah.
Calypso and Tia Dalma.
When was that?
I think it was 2007. Curtis, was it 2007?
Yeah, the second one was 2006. Third one was 2007.
That's right. It was like back to back because they pretty
Yeah.
much filmed them all right in a row.
Yeah, the
Well.
end of the second one was
Quite the cliffhanger.
great. Yeah, great cliffhanger. Like,
Mm.
whoa.
Perhaps
wow.
we should save that for a later date, Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still getting ahead of ourselves. So, Curse of the Black Pearl,
Yes.
a movie very loosely based off a great Disney ride. Disney had very little faith in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The budget was like abysmally small, and
I
it
don't
just,
know, $140 million budget. That's not that small.
for a big budget blockbuster. And if you look at the budgets of every Pirates of the Caribbean since then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a because of the relatively smaller budget, you had a creativity spark, like the fact that the pirates only turn into skeletons when the moonlight is shining on them. That
Right.
way, whenever they're close on their CGI budget, they just take away the moon, put some cloud cover over it. Oh, we're good. They're just regular
Mm.
people now.
Yeah,
Yes.
cloudy. Yeah.
I mean, this is during a time when Disney was just kind of throwing stuff out there. Like,
yeah.
we don't really have much to lose at this point. Well,
Well, they did.
they had some things to lose, but they
They
weren't
didn't own
the big
everything
commercial
yet.
success at that time. So that's why we got this movie. It's probably the same reason why we got National Treasure and
Oof.
yeah. What are some? I forget what were the other like blockbuster Disney movies in the early 2000s.
I don't remember.
I remember The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Vaguely.
That was another Nicolas Cage thing,
It
wasn't
was.
it? Oof.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They were all in on Nicolas Cage, weren't they?
Well, Nicolas Cage was
All in on Nicolas
all
Cage.
in on Nicolas Cage. Well, he was also like, wasn't he going through like another divorce, and he?
I'm a cat. I'm
Yeah.
a pretty cat.
Hey.
Hey, that's a reference.
Is he good or is he bad? So what happens? How does this movie start?
Flashback, little Elizabeth picks up little Will Turner from the burning ship on the crossing from England.
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs is there, which is a point brought up later, very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Norrington is there,
Okay.
which is weird.
So how old is Norrington at the beginning of this movie?
Yes. I know where you're going with this, Ryan. It's best if you don't think about it. It's kind
I
of
was
weird.
thinking about this all day.
Of course you were.
It's like,
It's a bit strange. We just kind of push past it because the rest of the movie's script is flawless.
He's probably like 20 at the start. Can you skip ahead 8 years?
10 years, yeah, something.
Yeah.
okay, so he's 20. He looks 30, and
Yeah.
It's because the
He's got
actor
an
is
old
30.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could also say like, hey, back in those days, people just looked older.
They didn't take as good care of their skin. They're out in the sun
Yeah,
all the
they're out in that
time.
sun,
They
yeah.
they get aged.
It's like being on Tatooine.
Ugh, I hate sand.
I think Curtis was referring to the fact that Obi-Wan goes from 20 to 59 in 19 years.
I mean, he
Yeah.
went from 20 to like 89.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, in 19 years.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
Like, ooh,
What happened? I guess we'll find out soon.
we're about to find out. That's true. It's true.
Ah.
Mm.
So yeah, flashback. You meet Elizabeth. You meet Will Turner. You see the medallion that has the spooky sound effect,
Mm.
which is reused constantly
Yes.
to reinforce things. And then you have the great transition of little Elizabeth closes her eyes, and then
Mhm.
adult Elizabeth wakes up.
And she caught a glimpse of the black sails.
The black sails. Oh yeah. I forgot about that part. Whoops. But yeah, so she had that dream. She was dreaming about the day she met Will Turner, and this
Yes.
reminds her of the medallion that she has stashed away under her false bottom drawer.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that. It's very dusty.
Well, see, that's a clever bit of visual storytelling. Why haven't the pirates known about this medallion before? It stayed in this bottom drawer for all these years.
Uh-huh.
It's all dusty. It's been there, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
Clever.
Clever.
Clever girl.
It's another movie.
That's a different movie entirely.
And then all of a sudden, in comes Will Turner.
No,
No?
no.
Not yet?
Her father comes in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The latest
The latest fashion from
Pa-
London.
Yeah, or London. I
Yeah.
thought it was Paris.
Which, across a ship moving at sail speed, would be a couple months old? A
Well,
month
just
old?
Just about.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
You've got the great corset joke. Women in London must have learned not to breathe.
Yes.
Yep.
Haha. It's true. They did learn
Yeah.
to not breathe.
Haha.
Yep. And then she goes downstairs, and a young Will Turner is waiting.
I thought that was Legolas.
Yes.
Uh,
So, like, did what's his name?
Orlando Bloom.
Yes, Orlando Bloom. So did he, like, just jump off the plane and start filming Pirates of the Caribbean from New Zealand?
Yeah, maybe.
it's like, man, this Lord of the Rings thing was great, but I gotta get moving on with my career. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
here's the movie. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. So he,
Well, 2003, they were still filming pickups for the extended edition, weren't they?
I mean, it was just Peter Jackson in his basement filming skulls that he dropped like 3 feet. Or is that 2004?
I think
I'm
that's
not sure.
04.
He kept working on that movie for a long time.
And it was worth it.
Yes, it was. I mean, he continued to work on it till, last year, because he
Technically, yes.
put it all in 4K.
Put it all in 4K. Still, he shows more restraint than George Lucas.
We'll see. Give him another
Oh,
couple
no.
years.
What's the line again?
My vision?
No.
My original vision? I thought that was the line. I don't know what
No,
I
it's
don't know
it's
where you're
what Greedo says.
Oh, McClunky!
McClunky. And actually, a character in the dude who was under Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
He says McClunky at one.
Bib Fortuna?
Yeah, Bib Fortuna. He says McClunky, and I was like, what?
What? Oh my god. In The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Ah.
Right before he dies.
I remembered them discussing that in the behind the scenes stuff for The Mandalorian, and I didn't remember where it appeared in the actual show.
Yep.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah, Peter Jackson's going to move to 3D next.
Oh.
We need a 3D
Curtis,
Frodo.
Curtis Home 3D failed. It didn't take off.
Or there's going to be a movement.
The
It's going to
movement.
be Release the Jackson cut.
That's the
Oh.
extended edition.
6-hour versions of each movie.
They're going to re-edit in the fight between Aragorn and Sauron.
Yes.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that.
It doesn't make sense, Ryan.
But I still wouldn't mind it.
Oh my god.
Might be kind of cool.
Pirates of the Caribbean
Yes.
Yes.
is a movie starring Johnny Depp, but we're still being introduced to the other characters in this movie. Will Turner breaks a candle holder off the wall, puts it in the nearest conveniently located umbrella holder or whatever.
I guess the implication is he's a metal worker and he's like, I could work this into something else.
Oh, I thought he was
guess.
just... He is not of high society. He is a blacksmith. He is awkward in these types of situations because he does not live them.
I suppose.
He completed the order for Commodore Norrington, the wonderful sword. This is a beautiful sword. Oh wait, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. So how old is Commodore Norrington at this point?
30.
Okay.
Because he was like 20 in the before, and it's been like 10-ish years.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan, they all wear wigs. You can't tell.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, yeah. I was thinking about Elizabeth Swann's dad. I'm like, well, he looked old at the beginning. He looked old at the end. Maybe he was 20. So.
Being governor is a stressful job.
It can be.
I guess. I
don't know.
Will and Elizabeth are talking, and you get a glimpse as to their relationship or lack thereof. They kind of both wish it, but the universe has put them in different social standings that would make it awkward.
Yes.
Shall we say?
Right.
I don't remember where I was going with that. Good day, Elizabeth.
Yes. Then the medallion calls.
No. The medallion doesn't call until she falls in the water.
Oh. Well. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So
then...
Who shows up?
Captain
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. We get what might be the greatest character introduction of all time.
When I was sending a GIF to you guys this morning, it was either that one or the one where he takes off his hat and goes, I. I wasn't sure which one to pick.
They're both good.
They're both good.
So there is Johnny Depp in all of his glory upon the top of his mast, and he swings down, and you see he is in this tiny little dinghy with a leak in it.
Yes.
The greatest fake out in history.
So he's trying to shovel out water.
Yep, with his bucket.
He's not doing very well.
I think he did perfectly well, considering where he lands.
So the music is playing perfectly as his ship descends. He's atop the sail.
Full overture of just like, this is pure glory for him. Even though it's the most ridiculous thing ever. As his ship sinks into the harbor. Perfectly so that he can step off onto the dock. It's a shilling to tie your boat up to the dock. You both look at the sunk ship. He definitely tied it up all right.
Why don't we say to 3 shillings and we forget the name?
Welcome to Port Royal, Mr. Smith.
Great start.
Great start.
So
it's what?
Oh, you go.
I was just going to say Commodore Norrington's ceremony.
Oh, Commodore Norrington, as he's about to become.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going on.
Yep.
Is it ever really... Do we ever really find out why Jack came to Port Royal? Or... Because he does give away... Well, he
wasn't lying,
says
Ryan.
that, but was he lying?
No.
No?
He was trying to steal a ship.
Pillage and plunder and something.
My Weasley black guts out. Something.
Yeah.
I suppose.
That was his goal.
Okay. Well, so we fast forward where the ceremony is ongoing.
Yes, keeping the guards distracted as Jack Sparrow goes to try and steal a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Finds some guards who are convenient in letting on information.
Good plot devices
Good
right
plot
there.
devices, yeah.
And they explain the... What was it?
The Interceptor.
The Interceptor
Dauntless.
is... Oh, but what was the powers in these waters?
Dauntless.
The Dauntless, yeah.
But no ship can match the Interceptor for speed.
Yes. I heard of a ship.
Fast, nigh uncatchable. The Black Pearl.
Black Pearl is a myth.
No, it's not. I've seen it.
You've seen it.
You've seen a ship crewed by the damned and captained by a man so evil that hell itself spat him back out.
No.
No. But I have seen a ship with black sails. Oh, it's no ship that didn't have a ship black or something. I don't remember. It's like no ship with black sails couldn't possibly be any other ship than the Black Pearl or something. No.
Jack conveniently got himself on board.
Well, they were talking. They were arguing
Right.
amongst themselves, so he just walked onto the Dauntless. Or the Interceptor.
Yeah.
The Dauntless is moored out in the harbor. Which is important later.
So the guards are discussing whether or not they should arrest him or shoot him right there.
Right.
Commodore Norrington is walking with Elizabeth Swann.
He's making the moves.
Yes, he is
He is attempting to propose to her.
1700 style.
1700 style. A beautiful woman. Or you are a fine woman. That's the line. I think we're in the 1800s, Ryan.
It says in the year 1720.
Dang.
Oh, so then like 10 years go past that. So 1730.
All right, it is 1700 style. He's got the moves.
He's apparently.
Really, apparently not.
I guess.
Yeah.
She
Spoiler.
passes out.
Yeah. Well, could you say that he did have the moves that, like...
Will Turner had better moves?
Will Turner didn't make much of an effort.
And yet he still wins the girl over.
I guess, yeah.
He's got better natural moves.
Ah. But
That sounded
you
way
could say
dirtier than I meant.
Commodore Norrington has better verbal moves
Yes.
because she can't handle it and passes out.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know either, Ryan. You're the one coming up with this stuff.
Yeah. Well, she goes for a little swim.
Right. Norrington's about to jump after her. Sir, the rocks. It's a miracle she missed them.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Right.
so then Jack's like, "Are you gonna do something about that?" I can't swim.
Pride of the Royal Navy, you are.
Yeah.
Do not lose these. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And then the medallion in the water
Call.
makes
Calls.
the call, and the wind changes, and see, Ryan.
It's very dramatic.
Like I said, the years spent in that false bottom meant that they couldn't find the medallion.
Sure.
Apparently, he needed to contact the open ocean.
I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know. It kind of goes with the theme of the movie, I suppose.
I suppose.
The theme of the movies, I should say.
So, after the end of the 5th movie, are those just like regular pieces of gold? Or if someone would then go and take more of that gold, would the curse go on?
See, the problem is
The 5th
They were
movie
going
puts
to
no
explain
thought into that.
Well, the thing is, they were trying to set something up for later movies because the after credits scene shows
Right,
Davy
Davy
Jones come
Jones.
back.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, what does this mean?
But wouldn't the
What
curse
happened to
on
the
Davy
curses?
Jones had been broken also? It just doesn't make sense.
I don't get it.
We're also about 4 movies ahead of us now.
Yeah.
Curtis, your thoughts on
The
Dead Men
future?
Tell No Tales?
Yeah, I'm unsure of what they were trying to do. I mean, it's I don't know. It's kind of like a soap opera. They can just bring back any character who dies never actually dies.
I know, isn't it boring?
It's like a superhero movie almost.
That's boring too.
Superhero comic.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see if that 6th movie ever gets off the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of like that next Indiana Jones movie.
Ooh.
Maybe it'll happen
Ooh,
someday.
someday.
And then J.J. Abrams is apparently producing the next Star Trek film, 2023.
Uh-huh. I've heard those words before.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh. I've heard those words before.
Oh, speaking of Star Trek and J.J. Abrams, we did
words.
have a viewer comment. Well, I got a message from my buddy Brandon from high school. He asked if we had ever reviewed any of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, and I said, no.
Didn't we talk about Beyond?
Did we?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Uh-oh. Time to go through the list.
I was just gonna say, hold please. You guys keep talking about the movie.
All right. Things happen. Jack rescues her. They bring her up onto the deck. Jack uses a knife or something.
Cuts open the corset.
Has some one-liner about clearly you've never been to Singapore.
Great
yes.
setup
Yeah.
that they weren't intending to be a setup for anything.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, hey, this worked out.
It's worked out.
And we have this great kind of, it's a scene where Jack's playing them all the whole time, even though he got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing, how to get away.
Yes. He
Uses Keira Knightley as a meat shield, essentially. Gets all of his effects back.
Yes.
And then pulls the
And
Great
his
Escape.
hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did not.
Well, he almost makes the Great Escape.
Okay.
Almost. That's true. We did not talk about Star Trek Beyond.
Gotcha.
I would be open to it.
We could maybe just join all 3 movies together.
I don't want to talk about Into Darkness.
Oh, come on. They set it up. Khan's coming back. 2023, baby. Bring back Benny.
Disney, take Benny and make him unavailable with making him into Thrawn, please.
Turn him
Oh, he's
blue.
already busy as a doctor.
Right, but if he has more contractual obligations with Disney,
He won't be available.
he won't be
right.
available for Paramount.
I see. Interesting. Are they going to make a 5th season or series of Sherlock with him?
I doubt it.
I think they
that
ended
kinda
it.
Died, yeah.
Did they officially?
I think so. I'd have to look.
I'm
British
looking at-
television has this weird tendency where they just like, we're done. Like,
I'm okay with that. They usually end things before it gets terrible, with the exception of Doctor Who.
I mean, it's
That just doesn't end,
just
and
never
man,
ends.
that quality has gone right into the ground. Or so I'm told. I'm not a Doctor Who fan.
I mean, I watched some.
Right, I've seen a couple episodes, but
I think I liked Peter Capaldi sometimes, but
sometimes.
I don't know. I never really got into it all that much. Bits and pieces throughout different Doctors.
I mean, people make fun of the original series for being cheesy, and then you watch Doctor Who for like a season, you're like, oh my god, TOS is amazing. It's
Yeah.
immaculate. I love Shatner.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they'd bring him back for something. Just, I don't know. Okay, so according to both Benny and Martin Freeman, they're like still on board for either a season 5 or a Sherlock feature film. So we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's
Maybe
their way
someday.
of telling the studio they'll take the deal if you give them more money.
Yeah, probably. Money.
Honey.
So this is the day they almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
All right. Yes.
But it turns out that it's actually just the day that Captain Jack Sparrow almost escaped.
Yes.
Yes. Because in his attempt to escape, he is still shackled. So he
Yes.
goes to the blacksmith shop to try and unshackle himself. And succeeds in doing so, while roasting a donkey's behind.
Yes.
Oh, poor donkey.
Poor donkey.
And
And just as he accomplishes this, Will Turner comes in.
Perfect.
a young,
Perfect
naive
time.
Will Turner.
Young, naive.
Uh,
He's so elf-like. Just gotta keep running this joke into the ground, Ryan.
So how would you rate the sword fight in that scene compared to other movie sword fights?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's decent.
As good as Die Another Day?
I don't know. We can't
That's
get
a
too far
different
ahead of
caliber
ourselves.
of fight. Like the fight in Pirates of the Caribbean. I wanted to say Black Pearl for some reason. In Pirates of the Caribbean, it's also to like expose these people's character, because Jack Sparrow perfectly figures out that maybe the reason you practice 3 hours of the day is because you found a woman and you are otherwise incapable of wooing said person. And then he goes, "You're not a eunuch, are you?" Which becomes a great
Right.
running joke.
Yes.
Ah, eunuchy! Snip,
Ah.
snip. That's the next movie.
Yep.
They fight and they fight. It's
They
a different.
fight and they fight and they
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a different kind of.
Right, it's a different
fight.
energy.
Yeah.
It's not two people trying to show each other up. It's just like sizing each other up and seeing their resourcefulness and how well they tackle the problem.
Ooh, interesting. So the original teaser trailer for
Was
Pirates of
just
the Caribbean.
the skeletons walking through the water.
Oh, I don't know, but it was attached to Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. I fairly vividly remember the teaser trailer because I've seen YouTube videos about Pirates of the Caribbean, and they talked about it. It's skeletons walking through the water, and then they reveal the logo.
Sure.
Dun.
Pretty
Dun,
much.
dun.
I don't remember what musical sting was attached to it.
Oh, that's the other thing we should bring up. Hans Zimmer, I think this was kind of his breaking out. Or
I thought
was
this
it?
was Claudius Badlet.
Yes.
like, it was-
Oh,
it was
then
a-
who was it?
Well, Hans Zimmer served as the music producer, according to Wikipedia.
Right.
And Claus composed.
Right.
Well, he did a lot of.
He did a lot of the compositional work.
Yeah, some other people were brought in, like
Mhm.
the dude from that Game of Thrones show.
Oh, Ramin Djawadi.
Yeah,
Mm.
and some other.
He's great. Curtis, Ramin Djawadi did the music for the first Iron Man movie.
Interesting.
See?
Although that movie is a lot of like non-score, it's a lot of like AC/DC, and or is that the second one?
That's the second one.
Oh yeah, this one. The first one had Iron Man. Huh. Bow, 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 bow.
And that was just on the credits.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Listening to the soundtrack for this movie, I would say that it's more or less variations on the Pirates theme, just kind of over and over again.
Yeah. It's very samey if you sit down and listen to all of it back to back.
Yeah.
It works in the movie pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely lacks variety.
Yes.
I mean, symphonies.
Yes.
Ha.
57 symphonies.
If there was actually a person who had written 57 symphonies, every musical nut would know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Probably.
movie's terrible.
It's
It's
something.
a thing.
Something.
It's hey. That was another one of those mid/early 2000s. Let's throw it out there and see what happens.
I don't remember if the first one was better than the second one.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Sure, yeah.
For those of you who are blissfully unaware, we're talking about Agent Cody Banks. Starring that kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
I've been watching, like, a bunch of clips of Malcolm in the Middle have been showing up in my YouTube suggestion.
The algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm is weird. So I've been watching that on occasion.
Ooh, so get this. The film critic Roger Ebert said that, in regards to Johnny Depp, he said, "It can be said that Depp's performance is original in its every atom. There has never been a pirate, or for that matter, a human being, like this in any other movie.
It's fairly
His
accurate.
behavior shows a lifetime of rehearsal."
That's yeah,
Yeah,
I'd agree.
interesting.
Is that the reason for the reason's got nothing to do with it?
It's true. Reason has nothing to do with it. Or maybe it has everything to do with it.
Who
Indeed.
knows?
All right, so what? There's a great fight. Looks like
Oh, Jack Sparrow, quote unquote, cheats.
right. Yes.
He sprays Will in the face with some sand stuff and kicks his sword away. Pulls out the pistol. This shot was not meant for you. Set up.
Right. It's a
Mhm.
setup.
Set up. This script, man.
Yep.
It's very tight.
And then what's his name? Will's.
Was a mentor. It would be like a mentorship in
Yeah.
those times, or
Yeah.
apprenticeship,
Yeah. So
that kind of thing. Whacks Jack Sparrow in the back of the head with a bottle. And in true Hollywood fashion, that immediately knocks him out.
yes. Just as the authorities arrive.
Right, they break through. Oh, right, we skipped over the part where Will Turner flings the sword across
Yeah.
to lock the door in place,
Right.
which is important for the very end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Setups, Ryan.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
So
So,
Jack is imprisoned.
yes, he's put in prison. And, oh, that's the other part, directly from the ride, is the people trying to get out of the cell
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, with the dog.
with the dog
Yeah,
and the bone.
Don't you want a nice juicy bone?
yeah.
Come here, doggy. Nice doggy.
So that night, these pirates show up, and
I know those guns.
yeah,
That's a great line.
they show up in Port Royal, and they're
Pillaging.
pillaging, and yeah.
Looking for the medallion, specifically.
There's a great scene where Will thinks he's killed a pirate, and then
The short guy with the bombs.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he comes back around and he's still
Yeah.
walking or whatever, and yeah.
Huh? Hello, puppet.
The pirates do eventually find Jack Sparrow in the
Oh, yeah.
brig, and it's like, this ain't the
Yes,
armory.
the armory. Dreadlocks guy.
Yeah, he was cool.
Those dreadlocks look so cool in the water when he's skeleton-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great effect. He dies.
I think
Oh.
did Corridor Crew just do a review of the CGI from this movie? It wasn't too long ago.
Don't look at me.
I don't know.
I'm not subscribed to them. They show up in my feed every once in a while, but I'm not on top of their content.
Yeah.
Get this, Johnny Depp's pistol in the movie is an actual, or was a genuine pistol that was made in 1760.
Awesome.
Yeah.
30 years after the movie is taking place, but still. All things considered, pretty close.
Yeah.
This isn't period specific. Get me another one.
Curtis, there was someone who was just like Brian in the theater who went, like Brian went with those Verilites. They couldn't have VL6s in that whatever movie about the Beatles. Or
No,
Queen.
Queen.
Whatever. I
Ah,
don't care.
they're from the same country.
Yeah. Oh
jeez.
no.
Oh man.
But where was I going? Yeah, there was some gun expert from the who knew 1700s pistols, and he was like, "That's too late for this time period.
It's not believable.
It's not believable." It ruined the movie for him, Curtis. And the rest of us were like, "Oh, look, a pistol. It's a
Yeah.
flintlock. It works."
Yeah. Wow. Intriguing.
There's a bit of exposition
There's
from
exposition.
Dreadlocks dude.
Right. So there is a curse. That's interesting. Very interesting. We are introduced to Serengeti and the other sidekick, the two pirates that show up in everything through 1, 2, and 3.
Let's see.
Yep.
Have their names on here.
Guy with wooden eyeball and his friend. Ryan's looking for the names
I'm
in
trying.
this Wikipedia page. Very riveting.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway, they find their way.
Up to the mansion.
Yep. We get some more great lines, great dialogue.
The gold calls to us. We know you're here, puppet.
Oh, it's Pintel and Rigetti.
Pinto and Rigetti. I said Serengeti. I was close.
Yeah, jeez.
Along with Serengeti.
Let's rain down tonight. Okay.
It's hot. It's hot.
Oh, one of
The
the
ashes.
yes, but that brings up one of the few minor problems with this movie, is the inconsistency of whether or not cursed pirates can feel pain.
Ah, right.
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. It kind of just goes back and forth as the plot demands.
Maybe they do, and they just kind of show it as like a sign of strength that they're not gonna show that they feel it.
Right.
When Barbossa got stabbed in the chest with the knife from Elizabeth, he was just being macho.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
I could believe that. And he just goes,
After killing me, what was your plan?
Jeez.
So they take. Did we already say that they take
Elizabeth?
to the ship?
No, but that happens.
Yeah.
And Will Turner gets knocked out as that happens. He's like, I've got to go save her. Whack.
Yep.
With a frying pan.
Yeah. Then, we briefly skipped over the inception of Parley.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Parlay. I
Oh,
invoked the
yeah.
right of parlay. According to the Brethren Court, and she just goes off and on. Oh, right. Back in flashback at the beginning of the movie, Flashback Dream, she was singing A Pirate's Life for Me.
Oh, yeah.
She's very fascinated by pirates.
Right.
I wonder how she.
Knew the
Knew-
Brethren Code.
Yeah,
the-
how
the
did she
Pirates
know
Code.
the pirate codex? Like,
Got access to all the books.
She
don't know.
knew Jack Sparrow's dad and got a copy from him.
I guess.
I don't know if I know.
But that would also suggest that that dog that had the key.
Had
Say it
those
like-
keys the entire time.
Yeah. So, did she already know about the dog? Because the dog was there.
Hmm.
You're putting way more thought into this than you really ought to.
Eh,
So,
Capture her.
yep,
She's
goes
brought
on board. It conveniently gets cloudy, so she doesn't see anything.
Yeah, that's very convenient. It's
Uh,
almost like the plot demanded it.
Yes.
Yes.
Barbossa gives some exposition about the 882 pieces of gold or something.
Oh, I thought that was a bit later.
Uh,
Maybe not. I don't remember. I was just thinking dark hands.
Okay.
Moving on.
Can you imagine?
Every night.
All right, and she makes her demands.
Yes.
Her unspecific demands.
Yes, her undoing was due to her lack of specificity.
Yep. Jack Sparrow knows the importance of such things.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this whole thing brings us back to Jack Sparrow. So Will
Wakes up.
doesn't think, he
Right.
doesn't think they're doing enough. Gosh darn it.
That's not good enough. You're not a military man. You're not a sailor. You're a blacksmith.
Yes.
Ooh. Harsh
Harsh.
words.
But true.
But true. He's not a sailing man yet. He also
So,
doesn't have a good hat yet.
Also very true.
Very true, yeah. So he goes to see Jack Sparrow.
Hmm. And we forgot to mention that all of the other prisoners escaped.
Oh, right.
during
The cannon shot blew open part of the wall, but not enough for Jack Sparrow to slip out.
No.
No manner of luck at all.
Mhm. So he's just sitting there, and then Will shows up.
Well, he tried to entice the
Oh
dog
yeah.
back before Dreadlock's guy came in. That didn't work. So at the beginning of the scene, he's trying to jam the boat into the lock to
Yep.
open it.
Yep.
Yep.
And more exposition.
Yes.
Uh,
Will, short for William. Good, strong name. Name of your father, wasn't it? It's like, very subtle, Jack Sparrow.
Uh-huh.
So he knew his father,
Yep.
and
Bootstrap Bill.
and he knows what happened to him, more or less.
Yes, but I don't think the writers knew that he knew exactly what happened to him at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half-barrel hinges. Leverage.
Yes.
More
Right.
setup.
Yeah.
Unintentional.
So he's broken free, and they decide to.
We're going to steal a ship.
Yeah.
That ship. The one at dock. They're going to steal the interceptor. Commandeer. We're going to commandeer that ship. Nautical term. They do the classic hold the boat and go underwater and use it for their air supply.
Yep.
I don't think that
It's
actually
either-
works in real life.
It was either madness or brilliance. I guess it was brilliance this time.
So they go aboard the Dauntless, right?
Yes, they go aboard
First.
the Dauntless. Everybody stay calm. We're taking over the ship. Aye, avas! Everyone starts laughing.
I mean, somehow, like, I want to know how they were able to kick everybody off the ship.
They had the gun drawn first.
Oh.
Right.
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. And there was only like 6 guys.
It was like the off-duty crew.
Well-
Okay.
Yeah. Because they were probably already in preparations of getting the interceptor ready.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be the fast ship to chase Elizabeth.
Sure.
Sure.
So they're taking the Dauntless,
Yes.
and so they set sail after them, the British dudes. And
Norrington.
While they're
Well,
transferring over to that ship to take it,
to search it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Will and Jack take the interceptor, and they leave.
And they leave. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Jack gives a little speech.
Right. They disabled the rudder chain
That's right.
on the Dauntless.
Yep.
That's gotta be the best pirate I've ever seen.
So it would seem.
So they go to Tortuga.
Yep.
Right
There's some-
after
there's-
the speech.
Yeah, there's
More
some more
exposition.
stuff. Yep.
Bootstrap Bill.
Things.
Things. I can't sail the ship into Tortuga on my own. I need your help.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sail under the command of a pirate, or can you not? Tortuga? Tortuga.
Do. Oh wait, that's the next movie where that music
Oh.
comes up.
Tragic.
But
If every city were like this, no one would fight over anything or something.
so we find Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. Gibbs.
He's still around,
Still
Hanging out.
sleeping with the pigs.
sleeping with the pigs. Wakes him up with a barrel of water.
That was for the smell.
That was the second barrel. Blast! I'm already awake. That was for the smell. Keep a weather eye out.
Yeah, they're talking
Talking at the bar.
in secret.
Yeah. But not quiet enough for Will to not be able to listen in because he
Yeah.
hears the word leverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of leverage. Yeah. So the leverage thing was a setup for this movie also.
Hmm.
Incredible.
Yes. So they talk and Will squirms his way out of uncomfortable situations
Yes.
in the
Mhm.
bar.
And, Mr. Gibbs says that he can promise to find him a crew
Yeah.
so that they can go after Elizabeth.
Well, for Jack, it's going after the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at that point.
At that point, yes. Becomes different things. Later.
So we get introduced to the crew,
Yes.
and they're a funny-looking lot.
There's the short guy who showed up in 4 of the 5 movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the 4th movie on Stranger Tides.
Mr. Cotton and Mr. Cotton's
Parrot. The parrot shows up a lot.
Yeah.
Mr. Cotton, not so much after 3.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's a funny parrot. Most of the time we take that as yes.
Of course it was.
And then we have Lieutenant Uhura, or
Right.
Gamora, or what's her name from Avatar.
Ryan, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
She did not appear in the sequels because she didn't want to get bogged down in big blockbuster movies.
Huh.
Ah,
The irony.
Very
that
funny.
is hilarious.
Like,
Isn't that ironic?
yeah.
Now she gets painted green for
Yeah.
a big blockbuster tentpole movie.
Well, did you see the poster for Avatar: Way of the Water?
I don't care.
Oh,
Ryan, Curtis, I didn't like the first Avatar.
visually it's pretty neat.
Oh my
Beyond
god.
that,
Ripley was in it. Oh boy.
I just remember talking to Ben about how he watched it like 10 times in theaters.
10
And I
times.
was
Oh
like,
my God.
wow.
It's a lot of times to watch a movie.
I could barely sit through that movie once.
Yeah.
Like, sure, at the time it's groundbreaking visual effects, but I'm like, your standard video game does better than that now. Well, can do. Depending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we were asked, were they British deserters? I assume that is in reference to Pintel and Rigetti, in which case I don't think we know.
We never really do know.
It's possible.
They know an awful lot about law, I suppose.
I figured they were just kind of smart individuals who don't know how to read.
Yeah.
It's the
It's a
Bible.
Bible.
You get credit for trying.
I like how he's also got it upside down.
Flawless.
Oh my.
So they meet the crew, and well, Elizabeth is, sailing over to whatever the islands. What's the island's name?
Isla de Muerta,
Yeah.
which means Island of Death.
Um,
If my Spanish is still half decent.
yeah. They're sailing, and we cut back to Jack and the crew and Will, and they're sailing through a bad storm. And Will asks the question, how can we find an island that nobody can find with a compass that doesn't work?
The compass doesn't point north, but we're not trying to find north. Ah.
Great setup.
They didn't know what the compass did at this point either.
It's like it's a J.J. Abrams line.
Except this movie executes it way better because the compass has an actual point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like they keep it vague enough.
I suppose.
It's like the end of the first episode of Lost, where
right.
Dominic, what's his face, asks,
Yep.
"Where are we?"
Where are we?
Vague questions that rarely get answered.
Yes. J.J. Abrams good at that.
Curtis, you have an admirer of your amp.
Yes.
Sick amp. Where?
Your Marshall amp.
Oh, that's behind
It's
Ryan.
behind
Yes.
Ryan, yes.
Ah. Well,
John
yeah.
Ford is here to admire the scenery, not listen to our quality content.
To our ramblings.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
We'll take it. It's views.
It's views. Oh, lords. Oh, I just remembered that the compass thing is kind of important because when Norrington opens the compass and says, a compass that doesn't point north, it's got to be pointing at Jack because you can see everywhere and the arrow isn't there except for straight ahead, which was pointing at Jack Sparrow. The thing he wanted
The
most
thing he wanted most
was Jack Sparrow.
I don't think
Was
they
it pointing at him or was it pointing at Elizabeth?
At Jack. No, you
Oh,
can.
it was Jack? Okay.
You can't see like the angle that's like this in front of the compass, and it's
Sure.
only Jack is standing there.
Okay.
solid.
Just funny things that other people have noticed in this movie.
It's all right, John.
It's okay.
We appreciate you.
I don't think he knows that reference.
Oh, darn.
It's all right.
Okay, so what? So what's her
some
face
point-
gets
Oh,
taken to the island?
no. First she goes to dinner, and then you find out long
Yeah.
exposition about why they're all skeleton people.
Right, the dinner.
And Barbosa's like, I feel nothing. See, that's the thing. Like, he says he doesn't feel anything. Not the wind on my face, nor the...
Or was it just a way to scare her?
No, because at the end of the movie, when he gets shot, he's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel cold. And it's kind of sad.
A little.
Yeah.
He also explains, so where did this curse come from? Well, if you read
This
your
is
history...
Aztec gold.
Yes.
One of the 800 and whatever pieces made by Cortez himself.
Yes. I think that was another big reason why I liked this movie so much, because at the time, I was near middle school-ish age, and that's
so
when
you're
we
talking
learned about...
Central America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered learning about it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
So cool. And then you made a Lego diorama about it.
That's
I'm sure.
right, I did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I think we all did.
Yeah. And they're sailing to the ship, or they're sailing to the island,
Right.
and they get there eventually. They're doing the little ceremony thing to get rid of the curse. They're all standing around the treasure, and,
Yes.
and
Well, they're pulling out their treasure because they apparently have been storing all their spoils here for all these years because they figured if they could break the curse, they'll have all this cool stuff that they can use and enjoy. Makes sense.
I mean, couldn't they? They could still spend their money on stuff
right,
now.
but
like
you don't
good
feel
swords.
anything. What's the point? It's like
I
when
guess.
Barbosa says, I'm going to buy a whole bushel of apples.
Oh yeah.
It's like he wants to enjoy stuff again.
Yeah.
So they do their fun ritual.
They do their weird Mormon ritual.
Yes. How are the space Mormons?
Hey.
It all works out.
So
Oh, now we're
I
off topic.
truly am like wondering, are the Mormons behind everything?
Are they? Ellen Ty? A Cylon?
I think it's the Mormons, Curtis.
We're talking about The Expanse in case you haven't figured it out.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
The Mormons
There are
have
space
somehow
Mormons.
survived, and they're out there
Oh.
in the Expanse.
Wow,
That's
that's intriguing.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to regular 1700s Mormons that aren't actually Mormons.
Yeah.
Right.
Pirates.
Pirates.
So they do the thing, the ceremony,
Right, and Jack Sparrow and Will Turner, they got to the island just in time
just in time to witness it.
to witness it.
And then, as the ceremony is ramping up, Will knocks Jack over with an oar.
Right.
Oh,
Stay
yeah.
here and try not to do anything stupid.
Stupid.
Yes.
And
Then he gets whacked in the face with an oar.
And he says, "I won't be your leverage," or something like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
And then all the pirates are upset, like, "Oh,
I don't feel
yo!"
no different.
How can you tell?
Yeah.
Shoots him.
He shot me.
Yeah.
It didn't
Classic.
work. The curse is still upon us.
Yep.
You are not dead. No?
So they knock Elizabeth over, and then
Right, they're all arguing about
yelling,
finding the wrong person, and
and then Jack sneaks up and
Will.
whisks her away. Or Jack.
Yeah.
So Will. And the great chase is on.
Right, but the oars have gone missing.
Right.
Will took all the oars. Or what?
And
Huh.
Huh. So they get
And
back to
Jack fell behind.
Yes.
Pirates Code. Sad.
Whoever falls behind is left behind. Right,
Yeah.
right. Jack Sparrow wakes up, and he's got one oar.
Right.
I wonder if that's why they...
Parsnip.
Oh, parsley, parson... Parlay? Parlay! That's the one! Parlay! Send whoever to the depths, whoever came up with parlay. That would be the French.
Ha.
It took me like 20 years to figure that joke out. The French surrender joke in that movie. It was like 15 years after that movie came out. And I was like, that's a French joke. Classic.
Yeah.
Back when Disney was still able to make jokes at other people's expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do that now.
Not anymore.
They get back to the ship. They're
Yes.
shooting and whatnot. And
Oh, well, Elizabeth and Will get back to the ship and they sail away.
Yep.
Victorious in Will's mission to save Elizabeth Swan.
Jack talks to Barbossa.
Yes.
Gives the
You know whose blood we need. I know whose blood you need. Hold your fire. They all had their guns pointed at him.
Yep, Jack's just a master at leverage.
Leverage, yes. So then the chase is on.
Right, yep. Coming up. This is the fastest ship in the sea, or whatever.
In the Caribbean. You can
Yeah.
tell them that after they catch us.
Yeah.
Ah, what a great line.
yeah.
Ooh.
From Lieutenant Uhura. I mean,
Yeah. Gamora.
Gamora. I don't know what her name is in this movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's not a
Yeah.
recurring character.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
It's whatever her name is.
Whatever her name is.
So they try to get away, and then they get rid of all of their ammunition.
Yes.
And
And they're like, oh,
jeez.
well, we gotta shoot something. Everything.
We fight.
Anything we
Have left.
So they load up like forks and spoons
Forks
and
yes. All the
Mr.
fine-
Gibbs's
flask.
yeah, whiskey flask and
Bloody empty.
yeah. So they shoot at each other and then Jack's like, "Stop shooting holes in my ship."
Yes.
Yep.
Somehow, some of that piece of junk that they shot out of that cannon broke the lock on the cell.
It was a pretty strong flask.
Jeez.
Or maybe that's where the alcohol went. The alcohol was so strong it melted the lock like acid.
Yes.
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 What a great story.
Anyways, they take everybody on the Interceptor captive. Will was
Trapped below,
Trapped,
looking
yeah.
for the medallion,
Right.
which Jack got.
Oh, we forgot to mention the little spat between Will and Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it's like, why did you use my name and why did you take my medallion when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
a child? And
That was the pre-battle drama.
Yes,
But then they come together and come up with a master plan that almost works.
almost.
Sort of.
And they take him hostage back onto the Black Pearl, and then
Not you, we named the monkey Jack.
Jack.
The Interceptor's destroyed.
Yes, they blow it up. Kaboom. Elizabeth is very distraught.
Yes.
But then there's Will Turner.
It's like, Elizabeth goes free.
Yes, you already said that. Anything else?
Once again.
And the crew. The crew are not to be harmed.
Yeah. You gotta always put Jack in charge of the negotiating
Yes.
committee or whatever.
He's way better at it.
Yeah.
Because he's going like, keep going, keep talking. He doesn't.
So Elizabeth is set free
She is.
on a
When or where?
You didn't specify when nor where. Oh, get wrecked.
Ooh.
So she's on a deserted island, and then Barbossa's like, okay, Jack, you're gonna go too because
He doesn't like Jack
yeah,
Sparrow.
he just doesn't like him.
Yeah, not yet.
So they're on the island for a little while. The Black Pearl heads back towards Isla de Muerta.
Yes.
De Muerta.
We
And
find out the truth about Jack's
Oh, right.
miraculous escape
We
from the
forgot
island.
about the story with the sea turtles.
Yes. Yeah.
Waited out in the waited out into the shallows for 3 days and 3 nights.
the sea turtles.
He thrust them together and made a raft. What he used for rope? Human hair from my back.
Jack.
Yeah.
You were on this island before. We can get off the same way you did last time. Last time, I was here for a grand total of 3 days. All right. Because there were rum runners who were using the island as a stash.
Yeah.
Looks like they've been out of business. Probably a bloody Norrington to thank for that.
So they're just kind of stuck there.
But they have rum.
So Elizabeth gets an idea.
An idea.
burn all the rum.
Why is the rum gone? But why is the rum
No,
gone?
stop!
But her plan works
Not
out.
good. No good.
Gotta- What are you doing?
Yes, the rum is gone. Why is the rum gone?
One, it is a vile drink.
But why is the rum gone?
Yep. And as if on cue, Norrington and the Dauntless arrive.
There'll be no living with her after this.
Yep.
Jack Sparrow's line about Elizabeth being right about the signal fire.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So they're on the Dauntless,
They're on the Dauntless.
and Elizabeth wants to go save Will as an engagement present.
Ah.
Negotiations.
Negotiations.
Yes, she's learning.
She is learning.
Yep.
And it works.
So they go over there and they want to use Jack as a way to get the pirates to come out,
Yes.
catch them in a
Evil.
crossfire.
Yes. Shoot
Oh,
him with
yeah.
your cannons.
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing what Mr. Sparrow said with the cannons? Because it was Mr. Sparrow that said it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, they would have been in a far worse position if they had gone with his plan, because Jack didn't anticipate them using their skeleton powers.
Right. Not to the boats.
Yes.
So they get back to Isla de Muerta right before they do their ceremony again.
Right, they're gonna cut Will's throat,
Yep.
spill all of his blood, just to be sure.
Oh, yeah. And Jack comes in.
Barbossa, impossible, not possible or something. It's like,
Improbable.
not probable.
Or, yeah, not probable.
So then, what was his? He wants to make Barbossa Commodore
Yes,
Barbossa.
come on.
Yes.
I'll get you a hat, a really,
really
big one. And you know what? The hat pushed him over to accept the deal.
Yep.
Yep. Jack.
I want
master of
40% of your
negotiation.
plunder. 25! And I'll give you a hat. A really big one.
We have an accord.
Shake.
So
Everyone to the
Gents.
boats.
gents, take a walk.
Not to the boats.
We get the iconic walking through the water scene.
Walking through the water. And they improved upon it from the teaser with them going under the boat, and the shadow turns them into humans again for that little bit.
Right.
It's a really well done shot.
Yep.
Bum 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 ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum, bum bum bum
So-
ba-dum.
They're walking over. They're climbing up onto the ship.
Right. Elizabeth escaped, went to the Black Pearl, and released Mr. Gibbs and crew. Barbossa did keep his word. He did not harm the crew.
True.
Right.
But then, so she's trying to convince them to go back to try to save Will and Jack, but
Right.
they're like, the code.
Jack owes us a ship.
Yep.
And there's the code to consider. Code's more like guidelines anyways.
Bloody pirates.
They did give her a dinghy.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
So she goes back, and
Jack is,
like going over the plunder.
No, he does that after. Well, kinda. But then he lays out the plan for Will, and he's like,
Every
last one.
one.
Keeps the coin. Will notices. You've been planning this from the beginning, ever since you knew my name. Yeah. Me, I'm dishonest. And dishonest people you could trust to be dishonest. Honestly. It's the honest ones you have to keep your eyes on. You never know when they're going to do something incredibly stupid. And that's the cue.
Yep. Then the next good fight in the movie.
Yes, it's a great fight. And Elizabeth shows up, and they're whacking people with a giant golden stick
Right.
that
So-
looks like it's used to hold up the Ark of the Covenant.
Kinda, yeah.
Right.
It's kind of a cool scene because there's all the transitions between them being, normal and then their skeletons.
Right,
and-
with the awesome moonlight just pouring through these holes in the cave.
Yeah.
It's very blue moonlight. It reminded me of Lord of the Rings. Coincidentally enough, for an elf.
It's about the same time.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's father gets his little moment
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
against a hand.
He hammers off a skeleton's hand, and then puts it in a drawer, and then the drawer starts shaking. I love it when he opens it up
Yeah.
later. Ooh.
Yep, there's some great choreography, it's a coordinated effort between all of them to get the gold to drop and the shot fired all at the same time.
Yes.
Ta-da.
I feel cold.
Yeah.
It's tragic in a way.
When right before we left, our father asked, like, who would you guys think is the best character who wasn't a star of the movie?
Barbossa.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thinking. It's Barbossa's, like, he's definitely the fan favorite.
Yeah. Especially in the first movie where Will Turner isn't as developed of a character, which is sort of his journey through the movie is being developed. So it makes sense that you have this sort of more interesting villainous antagonist would be the word, that has all these personality traits sort of already entrenched in his life, having lived for so long and done all these things.
Yeah.
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 What incredible discussion.
So then Jack is going through the gold and is like,
Yes.
what can I take? They they get back on the dinghy and the
I'm sorry,
Black Pearl's
Jack.
gone.
Yeah, the Black Pearl is gone.
And he's like wearing a crown or something.
They done right by themselves. That's all I can ask.
So then flash forward and Jack is going to get hanged.
Yes, he's on the gallows. And as was apparently common in the 1700s, the entire town came to see the pirate get hanged.
Yep.
It's a regular family event.
Yes.
Yep.
How morbid. Bum. Bum. Ba-dum. Captain Jack Sparrow.
But we see some
Shenanigans.
yeah, there's a little build up. It's like, oh, what's going on? There's some movement here.
Right. Will Turner, he walks up to Elizabeth and he's like, I should have told you from the day I met you. I love you. Oh. Oh, right. We skipped over. If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it. It's such a great line.
Yup.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So then we get the payoff for the sword throwing.
Payoff for the sword throwing. Payoff for Elizabeth fainting earlier in the movie. She fakes fainting now to get Norrington's
yes.
attention
Right.
to help the escape attempt.
Right. Oh yeah, because she saw the
The parrot.
Mr.
Yep.
Cotton's parrot. Yeah.
Yes. I can't breathe. Boom.
And
Yes, the sword throwing. He throws it, impales it into the down flap, whatever that is. I don't know
Yep.
the technical terms for a
the
noose
the chute.
for-
I don't know.
for the gallows. I don't. Yeah, whatever. And Jack Sparrow is able to get enough of his weight to shift so that his neck didn't break and that he is not choking to death.
Right. Handy.
Handy. So then he is cut free by Will Turner, and then they're doing flips. Will Turner does a really cool front flip,
Yeah.
straight out of episode 1.
Yep. Using ropes to.
Flip people over,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're in sync, and they do the double roll in sync too. It's such a well choreographed escaped scene.
Almost escaped.
Almost escaped. I
They were
suppose.
so close.
They were so close.
Just a few, like 10, 15-ish more feet,
Yep.
and they could have both gone.
Then they're surrounded.
And then
Elizabeth puts herself in with them so that they don't get shot.
And then what does her dad say? It's like something about piracy to.
Oh, perhaps an act of piracy is the right course, or
Something.
yeah, there's a. It's well worded, and we're not remembering those words well.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is a unintentional setup for the next movie.
Yep.
And the third
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he lets them go, and Jack has some parting words.
I was rooting for you, mate, to Norrington. Elizabeth, it never would have worked out between us, darling.
Will.
Nice
Nice
hat.
hat.
Ah.
Ah.
And then he,
Gentlemen, you always remember today is the day that you almost.
Bye.
Bump,
See you,
da,
Jack.
da, da, dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Fool, he's got nowhere to go but
back to the noose. So
Around the corner comes the Black Pearl. to
what's your
save him.
plan of action, sir?
And that's where his fancy word speech comes
Mhm.
that we don't remember.
Right.
Right. Check.
So it's Commodore. What about Sparrow?
I think we can afford to give him 1 day's head start.
Yep.
The Black Pearl is yours. Drink
Yep.
up, me hearties. Wait, no, that's the third one. The end of the first one is bring me that horizon, show me that horizon, something like that.
Something.
Yeah. But he does say, "Drink up my hearties, yo ho."
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
I thought that was the third one, and only the third one. I'm
I
just
think
misremembering.
he-
I probably just don't remember. It's okay.
And
yeah,
that's
he definitely says "drink up me hearties" at the end of the first one.
Okay.
I think.
Also at the end of the third one,
Yeah.
yeah.
when he's on his dinghy.
Right.
Full circle.
Full circle, from dinghy to dinghy. It's like the beginning of Halo 1 and the end of Halo 3, from cryotube to cryotube.
I
Right,
mean,
Curtis?
Right.
it could have just ended right there.
It could have. But then they were like, we need more money.
Disney's like, "Give me more cash."
Yes. We know we own everything already, but we want to actually own everything.
Yeah.
And we need more money to do that. Please give us money. And thus Pirates of the Caribbean 6 will eventually be made, and it'll be terrible. Probably.
It's somewhere. It's in the pipeline, I'm sure.
Um,
That and National Treasure 3.
I don't think that movie's ever coming out, Curtis.
Oh.
It's been like 12 years.
It takes 12 years to figure out what's on page 47.
Oh no. I
gotta
forgot
know.
about that setup
Yeah.
completely. Oh
It's
no.
Aliens. Nicolas Cage and Aliens.
Oh no. It's like Indiana Jones 4 except somehow worse.
Oh no.
He'll survive 2 nukes. Or will he survive 1 nuke in 2 different fridges?
Oh. Oh boy.
Oh boy. What a movie.
Good thing we'll never see it.
What? See what?
Hmm?
Hmm? Yep.
And that was Pirates.
And that was Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. One of, if not the greatest single-entry Disney films ever made.
I don't think it was really intentionally setting up to be a trilogy,
No.
but
Not at all. But then it made a ton of money. I started to say buttload and went to butt ton. I'm sorry. I apologize. Words are hard.
indeed.
And they were like, a franchise is born.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made a decent trilogy, and then they ran the franchise into the ground.
Yes.
It'll happen.
It does.
Not everything can be Marvel. You don't get 23 quality films out of every franchise. Much to Disney's chagrin, I'm sure.
So is
Yeah.
that what the Fast and the Furious franchise is trying to do?
Fast and Furious is kind of dead, Ryan.
Yeah.
They tried to spin off. Hobbs and Shaw is bad.
Eek.
Yikes.
I watched it once.
It's not good.
It was just like, okay. But Pirates.
But Pirates! Curtis, your thoughts of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, it's a great movie. I don't know. Once you get to like Pirates 4, it starts to feel a little too digital. This one feels, well, I don't know. The digital effects for the skeletons are still they're pretty good. They're not the greatest, but
I think
what
that
you gonna do?
I think that is an area where their lack of budget to go all out with CGI actually helped, because that forced them to have real actors for a large majority of all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I had a friend say that this was the best franchise outside of Star Wars. I would humbly disagree, Travis, because Lord of the Rings exists,
Ah.
and there's 12 hours of it, and it's all great.
12 hours.
If you lump The Hobbit in with those movies, well, you still have 12 excellent hours of cinema.
Oh.
Oh,
Darn.
that low. Yeah, 12 hours, because Lord of the Rings is 11 and a half hours. So between
Close.
the 3 Hobbit movies, there's got to be like a half an hour of quality content in there. Because you've got Riddles in the Dark,
Mm-hmm.
which is solid, because it's 1-for-1 from the book, and it's Andy Serkis coming back, destroying his knees once more.
Yes.
And there's got to be other stuff that was okay in there. Billy Boyd, The Last Goodbye. I mean, that's the credits, but still. I See Fire by Ed Sheeran.
I
The
forgot
only
about
good
that.
thing that Ed Sheeran has ever done,
Oh.
in the opinion of John Ford.
Ah.
Also my own.
Hmm.
Curtis sounds dubious of the Ed Sheeran opinion.
I'd have to re-listen to the song. I don't honestly remember it. So.
Okay. That has been our review of The Lord of the Rings. Thank you for joining us. I'm Noah.
I'm Ryan.
Please join us next week for whatever in
Curtis.
hell we're going to talk about next week. We'll figure that out probably Tuesday.
Tuesday evening at about 11 p.m. Not
Curtis,
enough time to watch it.
Well, I made the suggestion that we do the rest of the Pirates movies because I found out that I have Pirates 2 and Pirates 3 on my iPod Classic, and I could watch it on my starting to die screen while at work.
Oh, interesting.
very interesting. I mean, we could talk about those, or we could talk about something else. Curtis could watch The Expanse.
Curtis could watch The Expanse.
Or Curtis could watch Firefly.
Curtis could watch Firefly.
Those are options.
Those are options. I could watch Lost.
Wow. Now that's an idea.
That's an option. I don't think we're going to go that route, but, you know, I figured I'd throw the options on the table. Just wanted him to check out my cannons. Talk about that movie. Does Ryan know what movie that is based off the cannons line?
Transformers.
Oh my god, he got it. Let's go. We're gaming.
It took a second,
It took
but
a
I was
second.
just like, wait.
He knows. Can you tell me which Transformer said it?
The one that was the GMC truck.
Yes! Iron something. Iron hide, iron side. One of those words.
One of those. That guy. The
That
cool guy.
The cool guy.
the cool guy.
He took over leadership in the third one when Optimus Prime died again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
I haven't seen those movies in a long time.
remember when we went and watched the third one in theaters?
I
Yes.
remember watching the fourth one in theaters. Boy, was that a mistake.
Not as bad as us going to watch Ghostbusters.
No.
Ooh.
Ghostbusters was definitely worse. At least at the end of Transformers 4, you had giant dinosaur robots. That was worth something. I don't know what it was worth.
That was
but
Transformers 4?
yeah.
I don't remember. I thought that was...
That was Age of Extinction, Ryan. Transformers 4 is Age of Extinction.
Huh.
It's terrible. It's
Okay.
also really gratuitously long.
Like and subscribe.